There are certain outfits that have an it factor which others don't possess. Some call this it factor a special sauce or talent, or is often referred to in Italian culture, sprezzatura. But fashion isn't that complicated. At least I don't think it needs to be. So in today's discussion, I'm going to demystify how you can very quickly take your outfits from good to great by giving you what I'm calling the 7 laws of layering. And as a prerequisite to these laws, I think it's important to understand that fashion and culture tend to appreciate a commitment to both details and intricacy within creative expression. And in examples of culture, we love music, paintings, films, and photography that have depth. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. What it do? It's nice to meet you. Let's talk layering. Layering in fashion has both practical and aesthetic purposes. By definition, layering is wearing several different pieces on top of one another, often for warmth or protection against the cold of winter. But layering is also the most creatively challenging part for the consumer of clothing. Unless you're a designer, you don't make your clothes. But in the case of layering, you do get the opportunity to decide how you wear each section of your outfit. These sections being the base layer, mid layer, and top layer. Similar to how in photography there is a foreground, midground, and background. Each element within these spheres hold really fun possibilities for you to play with when creating outfits. Law number 1. What is seen can be appreciated. The more you show what is going on underneath the surface of your outfit, the better it can actually be admired. In women's wear, for example, wearing a sweater off the shoulder is one of the easiest ways to reveal the details of your top. In menswear, opening up your jacket is such a simple way to showcase some of the details that are going on underneath. Improving your style is often as simple as shifting your brain's focus and knowing what to look for. Start by consciously thinking about how can I show more details of my outfit while maintaining the outfit's integrity. The integrity part is key. Showing off a mid layer or a top layer that isn't coordinated with the base layer will actually have the opposite effect of making your outfit seem like it looks good. It'll make it look bad. This outfit by Paul Bingham is a great example of how he is showing his outfit to the viewer. He is allowing the clothes underneath to be seen, as opposed to fastening everything closed and buttoning himself up. Same can be said for this look by Regina, who is a master of all of these 7 laws of layering, and we're gonna reference her throughout the video. Law number 2, alternating patterns and textures create the most intrigue when separated by another layer. Basically, in order for layering to have the greatest effect visually, you need to use different textures for different layers, and that includes patterns as well. For example, if you have a gingham top as a mid layer, it can be very loud and attention grabbing, especially this red one that I'm wearing. If I add my blue herringbone tulle jacket, it adds a bit of sauce to this look in the form of tension. The 2 patterns are playing really well with one another, and they help the top block of my outfit feel more sophisticated, when in reality, I'm just wearing a collared shirt with another collared shirt. Women's wear often takes patterns and textures a step further. From furs to stockings, stripes, and dots, the more creative you are, the better your outfits will look. For me, I often try to have a pattern layer poke out from underneath. Like in the example of what I'm wearing right now. You can't really tell the slubby nature of this shirt, but it has a bit of texture and pattern to it. And as a result, it aids in making my outfit feel a bit more cared about. And when you have pattern or texture rich garments that are underneath a mid layer or a top layer, it draws more attention to that element or that part of your outfit. It also adds more fun and is more dynamic when it comes to personal styling. Some of my personal favorite patterns include gingham, plaid, silk lines, spirals, as well as vertical lines and horizontal lines. And some of the fabrics that I like to implement to change the texture of my layering include fabrics such as tweed, velvet, corduroy, lace, leather, and knits. The cool thing about playing with patterns and textures is that there are seemingly endless combinations that you can use to create outfits with varying levels of structure based on the patterns and textures that you use or deploy in creating an outfit. And trust me, once you start thinking about these things and turning your brain onto them, you won't want to stop. It's one of the most fun things about getting dressed for me is seeing, okay, how can I match a unique pattern with a unique texture? And oftentimes they have historical connotations, and sometimes certain patterns and textures, they feel a bit more old school, or they feel a bit more Y2K, or they feel a bit more grungy. I love that element within fashion where it comes alive in a way that's very unique to you. Law number 3, balance your colors. Colors are so important because they help create the tone of an outfit. All gray layering is much different from a more colorful douse of layering. Balancing color isn't an exact science. I've used tools like the color wheel and color matchers to help me see what colors go together. But I think the more practical advice would be start simple and work your way to more complex. Starting simple could look like matching black, white, and gray. These colors essentially match each other no matter where and no matter what order they're put in terms of base layer, mid layer, top layer. Then start adding a pop of color. My favorite pops include pops of red, pops of yellow, and pops of green. One of the rules that I use to balance colors is to create pairs of 2. If you want to add red to an outfit, for example, I'll add red in 2 spots, my belt and my shoes. That way it doesn't feel like the red is random. Matching 2 items together by color can be just the right touch for using layering to improve your style. Law number 4, thin to thick is easier than thick to thin. This law is more practical in nature, but it'll also help your outfit look more put together. When you layer, you want your base layer to typically be a lighter fabric weight and material to the outer layers. You wouldn't put a t-shirt on over a puffer jacket. The lighter a garment is, the easier it will be to slip in between heavier layers. Now, there are some exceptions to this law though. Skirts, knitwear, and sweaters can be used as top layers. Examples like skirts over jeans, knitted arm sleeves, and sweaters as scarves are all examples of thick to thin as opposed to thin to thick. But in general, thin to thick is easier and better for your layering, especially when you're just starting out. Number 5, balance your proportions. Now I understand words like proportions and silhouette have become buzzwords in the online fashion world, but what I'm talking about here in reference to layering is I'm talking about understanding and balancing the thickness of your outfit as you begin to layer clothing one on top of the other. The more clothes you add to your body, the more difficult it is for the clothing to interact with your body in a natural way. Sleeves get caught, collars get concealed, and if you smush too many pieces of clothing together, it can come off looking very sloppy and unkept, and it can make you uncomfortable as the wearer. We all have moments where you're wearing something that's just too tight in the winter and it feels like you gotta break loose. Like, we've all been there. So in order to balance your proportions, start by conceptualizing how each piece of clothing will look and fall towards your waistline. Is your mid layer falling below your waist? If you like that feel but don't like the way it looks, is your top layer covering that visual element while also showing off the outfit in a pleasurable way for you? Cropped jackets and tops tend to look cleaner because there's a bit of intentionality with the way that the garment fits. Not to say that oversized looks don't have intentionality, but something that's cropped right at the waist, it visually looks really pleasing. Proportions and silhouette come down to understanding size and fit for your body. It's not gonna work if you look at someone else who's a particular body type or has a particular height or particular dimensions and you try to affix or fix their measurements onto you. You have to go through a self-discovery process of understanding, okay, what clothes fit me better? Okay, what brands fit me better? What pants fit me better? What jeans fit me better? And if you want to know how to always nail the proportions and the silhouette of the clothing that you buy, either secondhand or new, wherever you buy your clothing, then I would watch one of these 3 videos here, one of these videos here. I've made a lot of videos talking about proportions, silhouette, fit, the rule of thirds, all the things that help people, or I would hope help people understand how to make sure that you nail fit when it comes to clothing. Even if you just wear all black, if you can nail proportionality and balancing the proportions of your outfit, it will look good. It will look tasteful. And the crazy thing is that once you start like getting it, once it starts clicking for you, your entire demeanor will change. The way people see your outfits will also change in how they interact with you. It's really one of the coolest things when your outfit starts fitting for your body really, really well. Law number 6, create windows into your layers. Maybe the most important law on this list is law number 6. What I'm calling windows is little pockets where the garments you're wearing tease what is going on underneath. If you have a button sweater on, for example, unbutton the top 2 buttons and the bottom 2 buttons. And voila, you've created 2 windows into your outfit. Towards your waist, we can now see your belt and belt accessories. Toward the top, we can see your neckline and base layer if you have one. Once you start paying attention to outfits and fashion, you'll start to realize where all of these little windows exist on different people's outfits. Corsets are windows, double zips create windows, crop tops create windows. And law number 6 really plays well into law number 1, which is what can be seen can be appreciated. And as you create these windows for people to peer into what's going on in your outfit, you're actually allowing them to see the details and the thought that went into your style. And what's interesting about windows is that windows also exist to create windows of opportunity, right? For details that otherwise would not be appreciated if that window wasn't opened up so that the individuals that you're interacting with, whether it's friends, whether it's other people who care about fashion, whether it's your mom, can see actually what you're wearing. Law number 7, nail the details. If you nail the details, that is more than, let's call it 50% of the work when it comes to properly layering. What are the details? They are the cherry on top of all the previous rules. Adding bags, bag charms, playing with things such as hair and hair length, jewelry. The details are the final personal touch that add a layer of you to your outfits. One of the details that I love from my partner, she's been doing this a lot recently, has been this example of using ties, traditional menswear ties, and tying them in such a way that they look like a bow or a ribbon, and she wears that as an additional top layer to whatever collared shirt that she's wearing. Elements like this really add a wonderful bit of creativity to an outfit while also feeling refreshing. One of the things that I love to do is adding different pins to my hat. Some people like wearing specific types of watches or patterns or whatever your thing is. Find it, do it, and add it as a layer to your outfit. These details bring an outfit alive through the interpretation of the wearer. Let's get a word in for today's sponsor, Squarespace. Are you interested in making your very own website for a brand or creative project? Squarespace offers a comprehensive amount of features to help you create the website that you've always wanted. If you want to sell your products direct to consumer, or if you want to showcase your body of work, Squarespace makes it easy to do that and more. Currently, I'm using my Squarespace website as a hub for all of my content and as a way to direct those interested to my podcast and social media. If you need a design to help nudge you into creating your first website, this is your sign. Visit squarespace.com/DrewJoyner for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Law number 1, what is seen can be appreciated. Law number 2, alternating patterns and textures create the most intrigue when separated by another layer. Law number 3, balance your colors. Law number 4, thin to thick is easier than thick to thin. Law number 5, balance your proportions. Law number 6, create windows into your layers. And law number 7, nail the details. If you implement just one of these laws, I guarantee that your outfits will come off looking more taken care of, looking more thought out, looking more sophisticated, and it'll make you feel better about how you walk around through the world. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2024. So that means I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity to you and more. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. Abianto. Peace. Yo, what is good, post-vid? Here are the fist bumps for the one time. Bah. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Here are my post-vid fist bumps. Bah. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.